Hey soul family, I am back with another channeled message. I'm just using my notes that I took and just the visions that I've got and the things on my heart that I feel a lot of us in this collective are struggling with. Some throat blockages, third eye, and sacral blockages, and we might not even be consciously aware. That is just what's coming through in this reading, and I already did a remote Reiki to clear those for you. So I'm intending that anybody that likes, shares, and subscribes that gives equal energy exchange will receive the benefit of that. I don't have my glasses on and I need them to read, but I will look over. I'll try to do as much as I can from memory. But a lot of us are needing to create right now, and we have been consuming a lot of this is kind of piggybacking off of one of my other recent readings, and you can kind of feel the nudge in you that you need to be doing more, that you need to be creating in this world and putting forth your personal passions and not seeking any validation outside of yourself. And you might even be feeling blockages in money, career, in your love life, and those might be areas that you're really trying to manifest in, and spirit keeps kind of creating roadblocks for you and blockages, and like a dip in your finances or things happening in your career. You might be in between a lot of things right now, career changes, and might be really feeling the nudge to do something, and you know what it is that you love, and something that you've probably loved since you were just a child. Writing, making music, art, reading. I mean, that's not really creating, but you might be somebody who loves to write and read, but it might be a call for you to create something that somebody can read. But like I said, it doesn't have to be, it can be food, creating food. It can be creating a beautiful home. It can be creating, like I said, art, or some kind of information to put out in the world to help others on their healing path. So I just really feel that a lot of us are struggling with I wrote down deep fears, and we might not even be consciously aware where they're coming from. Now, I've gone on a spiritual path and did a lot of healing, and I'm very tapped in, and I did all kinds of esoteric things like past life regression therapy and stuff like that. So I know where some of my fears have come from. But some of you may not have been called to that path, and you might be learning more about past life issues or generational trauma. If you don't believe in past lives, at least get on board with the idea that trauma can get passed down in the lineage. In the study of epigenetics, it's science-based, that 7 generations can experience the effects of traumas that have happened, and you might be that generational curse breaker, the healer in your family, somebody who's called to kind of, that feels big and is sensitive and feels all the things that maybe others are passing on to you unknowingly. Like you might be picking up on other people's energy that they might be projecting onto you, and you might just be the sensitive one, the black sheep, and being called to be the energetic space holder. And you want to call some things in though and heal that once and for all. And like there's still some blocks left that are causing you to not take action and movement forward, and not to be creating. You've been consuming and not creating enough, and it is your call. And I want to encourage you to take that step, because the action step, moving our physical body and actually doing the thing, getting out that pen and paper, you know what I mean, getting out that paintbrush, and really letting some of those past hurts and wounds and traumas that you feel like you've mentally and emotionally healed in your heart space and your mind. You are now maybe feeling just heavy in your body and exhausted. It's because it could be because that pain is still residing in your nervous system. And I don't know if you've heard about fascia, but like there's fascia release therapies and exercises you can do to release that energy out of like the cellular level at the layer of the skin. There's a lot of really great free YouTube videos on the fascia release exercises and whatnot, somatic exercises. So you might be kind of wanting to move past that. Like, I don't know, sometimes I feel like, okay, I'm sick of having to worry about healing, and I just want to get into being and doing. And that is what this video is going to be about. Just being in the moment, being gentle with yourself, creating, like if you're feeling blocks in love, let's say, just like one thing after another, things that you think are going to work out really great end up just being like abruptly stopped and taken away, or you just have dead ends, or you meet somebody but they're way too far away, or there's just impossible obstacles in your love life, let's say. But you might end up being the one in this video that's being called to create that passion for yourself, to create out of the not to look outside of you for passion is what I mean, but like let the passion from within you rise up out of your sacral chakra and your heart space, and use like all three together. The sacral chakra, it's all about passions, our sexual energy stored there. Creating, though, our emotions are stored there. Obviously, giving and receiving love is our heart space. And our throat chakra, speaking our truth to ourselves and others. Using those three. Oh, and actually, it was kind of funny that I said heart space, because it's not one of the blockages here. It's third eye, throat, and sacral, now that I'm looking at my notes. But you can still incorporate the heart here, because you want to be doing things out of love, not fear in your life, and being in a place of peace and love, that you want to do this because it's the loving thing for you to do. Tapping into your third eye, which is your intuition and knowing what you need to be doing. You may not know where it's going to take you, but you just know that you need to take that next step and just do. And in that doing, the last remnants of that pain and that trauma are going to be released out of you, because it's being stored in your body right now. You might just be feeling really heavy, and like consciousness is kind of changing. So a lot of us are feeling just super heavy and exhausted, and just like tasks seem impossible. Like I even can relate to this, that I love to redecorate and like shift things around, move furniture around. And lately I've been like starting these projects. Like I get the idea to do this and I'm starting them, and I just don't have the energy to finish them. And I got like piles of this to go through and that drawer to organize, and I'm just tired of doing that. Like it's just a time to be more gentle and to just rest when you need to. But some of that exhaustion could also be just the fact that you've been carrying, and your body's been carrying. The body keeps the score. That's a real book about the science behind trauma, how it affects our body and how our body holds it. Like you may not even be able to get back in the gym like you used to, but it's just about doing something with the physical body, with that energy, with those emotions, with that trapped trauma that you might have mentally and emotionally thought you've cleared, but it's now time to take the action on it. And I actually kind of a song came in my mind today. And like I wrote down, take it seriously just as much as you do other things in your life, like your work, your career, or your finances, or maybe the way you take care of your family or other people in your life. Like take your passions just as seriously as that. You might, like life might be kind of getting in the way, and you might be kind of keeping yourself busy, but it's a call right now to stop running and ignoring what you are being called to create. And you might think that it's a waste to create, like art is a waste of time. It's just not practical use of time. It's not the logical thing to do. But I just saw a really awesome TED Talk on the act of art as being like a way we can say F you to like our trauma, and F you to the control and the politics that we don't like, by us creating joy and using our passions to create. It's like us being rebellious kind of against what's holding us back, the people, places, and things that is holding us back. And it can be relationships, family dynamics, parents, authority figures in your life, bosses, just the government in whole, just anything that we've kind of been releasing the programmed beliefs around. It makes me think of the movie Swing Kids too. It's a really great movie. Christian Bale as a young actor. It's about the Nazi Germany era, but it was about just 555 on my clock there, which is all about transformation and change. But it was basically the swing music, how in United States and like the Western world, the influence of with swing music kind of end up filtering over into Europe, and how a group of just young kids and young adults and just anybody who was kind of turning away from what the propaganda was at the time of fear and, against the Jews and stuff like that, they would get together and dance and have dance halls and swing music playing. And the army and the guards and like the police kept coming in and breaking up these swing clubs and arresting people. And so anyways, it's kind of a story of a bunch of boys who are growing up in that time and love swing music. That's their shared passion. But then they all end up kind of one way or another getting affected by Nazi Germany influencing in their schools and trying to program them to become young soldiers, and the brainwashing and how everybody kind of ends up dispersing, and how they're each individually affected. It's kind of really hard to watch, but it's got a good premise of kind of ends up circling back at the end, back to the music and the art, and as kind of being a rebellious act in that time, and how you might be the rebellious one in your family right now. And I'm being shown that if we do not create and do what we came here to do, and if you don't know, meditate on that, pray about that, ask God to show you what you're meant to do, and take the time to just sit and be in the silence and meditating doesn't have to be like a forced thing. It can just be like you just sitting in a chair. I actually went to a meditation class on how to do this, and like tapping into your intuition is as simple as just sitting in learning how to sit in a chair for 15 minutes. It's very uncomfortable if you're not used to being with yourself and tapping in. But that is the fastest way to meditate, is just sit in a chair and be quiet and let your thoughts come to you. You let your heart space swell with idea, and even if you start to go on a tangent and your mind thinks of the to-do list you got to do, and I got to do this laundry, I forgot to take the kids here, I got to do this, that, and the other thing, got to pay the bills, like just that's okay. Let those feelings come, and then just shift right back into like setting the intention and say it out loud or in your mind, like, okay, God, angels, ancestors, higher self, like ooh, my throat chakra is like closing up. Ooh, you might really have a tough time with this, like admitting to yourself what you need to do right now, because it might be going against like a lot of what people think is good, and you are really having to really dispel a lot of that right now, that judgment from others, and just really tap in and be gentle with yourself on what you need to be doing right now. This is your healing journey, and this is what you came here to do. And you might be feeling like you're further behind than other people, and you might not know exactly the road ahead and how you're going to get there, but the action step you need to do right now is just take one baby step forward, not look at the whole staircase, but step on that first step. And it might start with meditating and just being with yourself and asking yourself what you need to do. Like, okay, God, what do I need to be creating today? And maybe it's like, okay, well, maybe you need to be open-minded and how it's going to be. Maybe it's not going to be, you thought you always need to write a book. Well, maybe you're not going to write a book. Maybe you're going to write song lyrics or essays or an ebook, or you might start smaller than that, start blogging. Like maybe it's time to like take those visions that you've had and figure out how you can in 2025, almost 2026, which is breaks down to a 10, beginning a new cycle. We're in the kind of an ending of the way we used to do things and heading into a new phase of things. And I wrote down, if you keep ignoring this, Spirit is going to keep sending you tower moments, not to harm you, but to guide you. I'm sorry, I got to read my notes with my glasses. Not to guide you, or not to harm you, but to guide you until in the way you are called to go for your highest and greatest good. You might start seeing changes too in your family and friends, like dynamics changing, maybe people not able to get together as much, or you might get into a small argument and just things are kind of like you're taking some space from someone. You might kind of start to notice like room opening up in your life where you might have been distracted before, like, okay, you got kind of antsy with just sitting with yourself and doing this one thing, and so you would go call a friend or make plans with your kids, or like you would always keep yourself busy. Oh, I got this chore to do, I got to go to the gym. But maybe like you're finding little tower moments happening where, oh, the gym's closed when it wasn't normally, or oh, your family that you normally used to count on seeing on a certain day, like are now not available, or they're sick, or like you're having little baby tower moments happen where things are kind of happening without your control and being taken away from you or crumbling, because it's trying to open up space for you to finally do the damn thing that you're supposed to be doing, or at least just trying it. And it's uncomfortable because we've had a lot of pain possibly in our past or past life, where there's some of us who have been actually killed in past lives for doing this thing that we loved. Or even in this life, like anytime you would write, let's say you maybe got shamed for something that you wrote, or you tried to share your beliefs and you got laughed at, like there's a lot of pain that we're carrying from doing the thing that we love to do, that we want to do, that we used to do as a child. And there was a call right now to have like childlike faith and tap into our inner child and just be gentle with ourselves and do it from a place of love, not fear, and carve out that time in the day, just as like we carve out brushing our teeth or washing the dishes or getting the kids to school. Like take it just as seriously as the other things that we have in our life. And eventually it's going to be hard because it's change and our body's resisting, because it's like, okay, the last time you did that, red flags, warning, like our body remembers all that. The body keeps the score. And actually the fascinating thing about trauma, I'm already at 15 minutes here. Ooh. I went to a trauma class because we were going through trauma, me and my kids, and I wanted to understand it. And actually what happens is your brain experiences the trauma, or your body, you're experiencing the trauma, okay? And then your brain takes a picture of what's happening and attaches the emotion to it. Like the emotion's happening and the brain's taking a picture, so the two things merge together. So the way trauma works is like, I'll give you an example, which was actually very painful to listen to, but like this little boy, one day at school just took off running, screaming, running out of the building at his school. And he was normally a very compliant little kid, just never have any behavior issues, and he just went running out of the school abruptly, and they freaked the teachers out, and they went running after him. And then to bring in his caregivers in to talk to them of what happened, and they were trying to figure out, like, why did this happen? Like, this is totally not like him. Why did he run out of the school crying and screaming? And they're trying to figure out how to support him. And then I think it might have been his grandparents, or whoever his caregivers were. I'm probably botching the story. I don't know them personally. It was just an example used in the class. But come to find out, they did actually tried to dissect this and really try to help this boy, which I thought was great. Take everybody working together to try to understand what to do to help him, obviously to keep him safe. He went running out of the building, which is not safe. It came to find out, okay, this boy experienced a fire in his home. And when the house was burning down, they had been making pancakes on the griddle, pancakes and syrup and sausage or something like that. And like, that's where the fire started. So it was like the smell of the pancake and the sausage. They come to find out they had a breakfast for lunch that day at school in the hot lunch program. And so the smell of pancake and sausage was wafting through the school and the halls, and the kid unconsciously, the brain smelled the smells and attached the emotions of fear, run, I got to get the hell out of here, right? And he ran out of the school. So they were able to like kind of put the pieces together, like, oh my gosh, could it have been that his past trauma triggered something in him to run in fear, like to get the heck out of there, and danger, even though he wasn't in danger. He wasn't able to consciously process that. And obviously the more extreme the trauma, the more extreme the trigger. And so they were able to like talk it through with him and plan accordingly, like either maybe come up with a plan of maybe not having pancake for the breakfast anymore while he was at the school, or warn him ahead of time, or maybe let him stay home from school that day, or just bringing the awareness of the child's trauma triggers into the equation and trying to support him as best as he could so he could continue to move forward and thrive. So that's a tangent, but that's kind of cool about trauma. Body does keep a score. Why I brought that up is like, we might actually have some subconscious programs running of fear of doing this thing, right? And I just came across a quote on Facebook. I was kind of getting distracted to even do this channeling. I had written notes. I wrote these notes down a couple days ago and added more to it, and it kind of tapped back in again. And actually, I wrote something else up. But anyways, my nose is dripping. Lots of energy clearing here, I feel like, for someone. I was kind of getting distracted. Like, I wanted to do it. My kids are gone and I have like a free few hours here, and I'm romanticizing my own life. I got some candles lit. I got a glass of wine. I have a really pretty little light over there. I've got lots of piles of stuff I still need to do, and it's kind of overwhelming me. But I was like, well, I'm not going out in the cold right now to go to a coffee shop and do this. I'm just gonna have to create this in my own chaos and my own mess, like my own little space. So I got the end of my table right here, and I'm looking up and I got beautiful music playing. Alex Rainbird music. It's a channel on YouTube. It's like indie folk Christmassy music. It's just really cozy. I'm looking over, and we got our like little stockings hung over there, and I got my fake flame candle and like wine. So yeah, there's a lot of chaos going on in the world and in my home even, and like I'm not settled with that, but this little space right here is mine. And I was kind of getting distracted even to do this video, and I end up on Facebook, but it was actually meant to be because I saw a quote that says, the magic you're looking for is in the work you keep avoiding. Face it and watch your life shift. And I think that we're going to start to notice that, like when we take those action steps in faith, not out of fear, but in love for ourselves. Like we came here to create. What is it that we have inside of us that we can gift this world? Because there's a chance that what you have, the gift you have, is maybe a step ahead of what somebody else might need. They might be the voice they need. You might be the voice they need to hear that day, or the hug they need to experience, or the act of kindness that you might just need to share, or just your being in the world and being your authentic self and being confident and empowered, like clears, energy. And don't discount like the impact that has on the rest of us. But each of us is, when we heal, because we are the healers. You're watching my channel, there's a chance that you're a healer too. You're sensitive and an empath, and we aren't at the same timeline as everyone else. We aren't going to be able to keep that 9 to 5 as easily. We aren't going to be able to stick in that same job that we hate for 20 years. Like, we're here to create and to move and flow and surrender to divine plan, and figure out how to obviously bring in abundance using our gifts. So this is the last little bit of it. I'm going to just read the rest of it. It says, the song that came to my mind is that Hallelujah song, and the version in my mind right now is the Pentatonix version, which I love Pentatonix. But the line that I felt pertained to this was one of the lines is, if there is a God above, that I don't I don't know how that really relates, but the next thing is, all I've ever known from love was how to kill someone who outdrew all I've ever known from love was how to kill somebody who outdrew you. Listen to the Pentatonix version of that. I mean, I get full-blown goosebumps when I listen to that song, especially Pentatonix. So it could be, you had a lot of trauma in love. Like, all you know is how to, kill somebody who outdrew you is kind of extreme, but you know what I mean? It's like when, like, the olden days, cowboy days, where they would literally duel fight with their guns, and whoever drew first would get shot. So we might be encountering a lot of people with trauma wounds, like avoidant attachment. I seem to attract a lot of avoidant attachment style individuals who can't face their stuff, and I'm overly facing my stuff. So there could still be a reason I'm attracting that, though. Like, it might be my time and my call to continue to heal, and maybe I'm going to continue to keep getting blocks in my life until I'm continuing to create. And I don't think that we need to be fully like famous authors or famous artists or anything in order to be creating this kind of abundance. I just feel like we need to create enough of that passion, energy, and within ourselves that we are creating, and that thing that who we are and what we came here to do is our love of our life, right? And then the right people will come into our life. But if we're continuing to need somebody else to be that love of our life when we haven't really become our own love of our own life, you know what I mean? And romanticized our own life. That's the call right now. Is that making sense? At least that's kind of what's been on my heart lately. I don't think I'm going to have to be a famous author or a YouTuber in order for me to create more abundance in my life and unblock some of these things. I think I just need to have enough of that energy moving and flowing in my own body and clearing my own energy and having a space, an outlet outside of my body for the things that have been happening inside my body and the things that have happened to me and the traumas, creating an outlet for it to exist in a form outside of our body. And flow in that enough that we're not in a place of fear. We're in a place of flow and love in that. And then that's where we're going to attract the things that we want, right? When we're in that flowing, loving, peaceful state. That's all I have for that. I hope you found this helpful. And again, like I said, I did a Reiki clearing on this. So if you like, share, subscribe, you're going to receive the benefit of that. And those chakras that are blocked for you will be opened up. If you want a personal channeled message for you, I basically just tap in just like I did now and write notes and go on a little energetic rant and figure out what blockages you have in your chakra system and clear those for you. I can do remote Reiki channeled messages. I also do a lot of coaching for trauma, emotional abuse trauma, and I have a really awesome soul quality test. If you are in part of it right now, I think, is the purging of relationships and toxic work environments and toxins in our home and our chemicals in our clothing, detergents and perfumes and dyes and all that stuff in our foods, like I think we're kind of all in like a place of wanting to kind of purge some of that stuff. So it's a great time to purge, obviously. But if you're not sure, like if somebody in your life is toxic or not, and you want to go with your gut and you think they are, but you don't really know for sure, I've created a soul quality test that can test like the quality of somebody's soul. Like, are you dealing with somebody who just has a really negative soul and they do not want to change and grow and have empathy and kindness and love? They act from that wounded place. And we don't need to feel bad for the narcissist. They're making a choice to do that at a soul level. So that's a really cheap, easy way to find out what you're dealing with. And then we can do some coaching if you want to, as a head-on, for helping you decide how to move forward in a relationship that maybe somebody does have more of that negative aspects. What else? So soul rest readings. I can do all kinds of cool things. So reach me at thezenzone@mail.com. The Zen Zone at mail.com, mail.com, if you want some support or coaching or guidance or a channeled message like this. I don't pull cards. I got my prayer beads out though. I was holding those in my little worry clear quartz here, and I do obviously pray and set intentions before each reading and clear my energy. And but yeah, most of my guidance just came from writing, automatic writing. So maybe I'd encourage you to do that too. You don't have to hire a guru to tap into your spirit. And if that's hard for you, you just want some additional guidance, of course, seek some support out. But you are the spiritual authority in your life as well. So just sit in a chair and be with yourself and get better at being still and listening to the inner knowings of your heart, and get a pad of paper and a pen and jot some things down that came up for you, people that you thought of, memories that you thought of. I was driving today and I was thinking of some things that had happened like so long ago. I'm like, oh, that's interesting. And then I was reflecting on it in my 2025 self and like, oh, that's interesting. I never thought of it that way. So, you know what I mean? Just allowing your thoughts to come and not let yourself hear the naysayers say you're crazy or you're weird or whatever comes in your mind of like you feeling not productive or whatever. Like probably should be folding laundry right now, and I should maybe be vacuuming and organizing that closet, but I don't want to be doing that all the time. Yeah, there's a time and a place, but I also need to create time in my day to create and consume less and create more, and so do you. Okay, so that's all for now. It's enough minutes here on the clock, and I will talk to you another time. Bye.